Tyler Perry sort of getting frustrated by his association with Harry and Meghan, in particular Meghan, because he had a very dismissive and I would argue very undiplomatic
given that role. Brittany from the Royal News Network, this was very shocking and very embarrassing.
Well, and I can't help but think, did Tyler never think this would ever come up in a conversation, especially with a British publication?
Can you believe it? They honestly thought they'd buried the whole thing forever in Beverly Hills. But Tyler Perry? Oh no, he didn't just sit back, he kept the receipts. And the second he pressed play, Hollywood went into flames, royal walls shook, and Meghan Markle's carefully crafted empire started trembling like a house of cards.
Interesting is that I think Tyler Perry's antagonism towards the question is based off a false assumption that Meghan Markle has given him, because Meghan Markle has tried time and time again to...
All right, let's rewind and start where no one in the palace or Hollywood saw it coming. Because Harry and Meghan, they didn't just step back from royal duties like the palace PR machine loves to say. Please, that's the polite fairy tale version. What really happened? It was a full-blown royal jailbreak. Think precision, panic, and flair. This wasn't a sweet little rebellion. It was a dramatic escape from centuries of control, scandal, and yes, accountability. And trust me, it was choreographed.
With Tyler Perry. Yet Oprah was, Kerry Washington was.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm always cautious until I can watch the full event myself.
Once Harry and Meghan were cozied up behind the golden gates of Tyler Perry's fortress in Beverly Hills, everything shifted. This wasn't survival anymore. It was strategy. Tyler Perry, yes, the self-made billionaire who rose from living in his car to owning an empire, suddenly became the wild card in the royal deck. Who could have guessed he would end up playing such a massive role?
But in fact, it was really Meghan Markle. And the Times, of course, is perfectly aware of that and is trying to actually discuss that with...
Here's the twist that has Hollywood insiders still whispering over their wine glasses. Tyler Perry didn't just hand them a roof to sleep under, he handed them a blueprint. Meghan, who has always been obsessed with optics, found someone who got it, someone who understood pain and production. Together, they didn't just run away from something, they built something new, a rebrand, a comeback story dressed as a rescue mission.
And to sell him. And it was a sob story that he bought into. And you can't help but wonder, is he starting to think that all of that was a bit of hooey? Because he didn't seem all that friendly.
Perry reportedly started holding private, top-secret meetings in his mansion. Not dinner parties, strategy sessions, PR experts, legal advisors. It was like watching a movie set unfold in real time. Scripts, lighting setups, carefully worded talking points. What began as a safe haven was transforming into a power studio. Meghan Markle wasn't just hiding, she was producing.
Above. All right, so when I saw these first comments, of course, it was sort of a negative slant in the Daily Mail, but I was thinking to myself, do I want to just do a short on this?
And then came the moment that stunned Hollywood itself. Meghan named Tyler Perry godfather to little Lilibet Diana. That wasn't just some sweet gesture. That was royal-level symbolism. Naming a godparent in royal tradition? It's sacred. It means, you're in my inner circle forever. Meghan didn't just thank him. She basically knighted him into her story.
Interesting to watch sort of her interaction with Tyler Perry on the red carpet, because he seemed, I wouldn't say super engaged with her, super excited to interact with her. Once they had taken their pictures, he was like, I want to go over here.
It was the most genius PR chess move ever. Meghan publicly gushed over Perry, calling him her protector, her safe place. Netflix specials painted him as their guardian angel, the man who saved the Sussexes from the cold cruelty of the monarchy. The world ate it up. It was sugary, emotional, and oh so strategic.
These are more, you could say, complex than something I could fit into a minute or 3 minutes. So I thought, let's do a video on it. Now, Tyler Perry, if you don't know, is a producer, actor, director who has...
But behind those glowing smiles, oh, something much more calculated was happening. According to insiders, there was a quiet, very real contractual understanding. Tyler wasn't just some honorary godfather anymore. He was invested. And in Hollywood, every deal, no matter how sweet, comes with fine print.
Familiar, this is him. I haven't really seen that much of his stuff. Like, he did the Medea franchise and a whole bunch of other things, but not all the things that are really, you could say, to my taste. So I'm not really super familiar with his work. I've seen him in a thing or two, but it's not really
Once Harry and Meghan fully settled into Perry's fortress, the vibe shifted dramatically. The tears dried, the anxiety faded, and guess what started rolling? Cameras. What the world saw as a royal couple finding their peace in sunny California was, behind the curtain, the early stage of a perfectly curated production. Meghan was at the center of it, leading lady, director, and mastermind.
Pictures at a different angle, but you have as well the Times of London article where he is asked about Harry and Meghan. He had this very
Perry's home became the ultimate safe set. Paparazzi couldn't get near it, but it had all the Hollywood glamour needed to launch a brand. Perry's team hooked them up with image consultants, documentary producers, lighting crews, every detail carefully manicured. Each interview, every casual garden photo, every softly lit Zoom call, nothing was random. It was all a carefully built narrative. We're not broken, we're reborn. And honestly, it worked. When Meghan sat down for that tearful Oprah interview, the world collectively gasped. The lighting, ethereal, the setup, straight out of a lifestyle magazine. Every glistening tear, every dramatic pause, it was all perfect. People didn't just watch, they believed. It wasn't two royals being broken, it was a fairy tale rebirth in real time. But insiders were whispering a different story. That Oprah moment, it wasn't as spontaneous as it looked. Meghan's advisors had rehearsals, test questions, pre-approved talking points, even Harry's most vulnerable moments guided. This wasn't deception, it was direction. A documentary dressed as a confessional. And let's not forget Tyler Perry. He wasn't just a host, he was a silent producer behind the curtain. He made sure their shift from monarchy to modern celebrity was flawless. Meghan's image became the ultimate package of rebirth and resilience, and none of it was accidental. It was built, polished, and sold. Then out of nowhere, boom, an earthquake. Tyler Perry, their once untouchable savior, was suddenly the center of a $260 million lawsuit. Allegations of a toxic empire, workplace intimidation, and abuse hit the headlines like a thunderclap. The man who once looked like their guardian angel was now front-page trouble. Almost overnight, his shiny image cracked. His name, once a symbol of kindness and loyalty, became a PR landmine. And for Meghan? Oh, this was bad. This was the kind of bad you can't fix with cookies and soft-focus Instagram posts. She knew how fast public sympathy can evaporate, and her team, they went into full-blown crisis mode. Perry's name began disappearing like it had never existed. Mentions scrubbed from Meghan's lifestyle pages, old posts quietly deleted, those cozy Beverly Hills sanctuary photos wiped, even Lilibet's Wikipedia entry, the word "is Godfather" turned into "was." Just like that. Erased. Perry wasn't just holding memories. He had archives. Every email, every message, every whisper inside those golden Beverly Hills walls. He had it all. Backed up, time-stamped, and locked away like treasure. He doesn't just make movies. He films life. And when Meghan's team hit that delete button, thinking they were protecting her image, they actually flipped a legal switch they didn't even know existed. This was about to blow up. The moment her team erased Perry's name from the glossy narratives, it wasn't some cute branding tweak, it was a contract breach. Quietly, Perry's legal team noticed. And oh, they didn't just notice, they documented screenshots, timestamps, backup files, and they began assembling what Hollywood insiders would soon whisper about as the revenge file. Because for Perry, this wasn't about hurt feelings, it was about principle. He had given Meghan and Harry everything when the royal institution turned their backs. He offered them security, sanctuary, and strategy. And how did they repay him? By ghosting him out of his own story. And that was a mistake. When Perry officially activated his right to defend his reputation, the Hollywood rumor mill practically exploded overnight. People close to him hinted he wasn't just upset, he was ready. There were even whispers about a future documentary or tell-all, and this time, he wasn't the supporting character. He was holding the script. His team reportedly had hours of recordings, messages, carefully kept memos. Meghan had no idea how much he'd stored. The betrayal for Perry wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. Gratitude gone missing in Hollywood? That's when revenge walks in wearing designer shoes. And then it happened. The moment the first clip surfaced online, it was like lighting a match in a room soaked in gasoline. Hashtags exploded across continents. #selective sympathy, number Perry receipts. London woke up to it. Los Angeles couldn't sleep through it. The perfectly polished image Meghan and Harry had built over years began to crack. Loudly. Commentators, gossip sites, and late-night comedians tore into it. Was this all rehearsed? Did they script their trauma? A single tweet asking that question hit 1 million views in less than a day. And Perry? Silent. Completely, devastatingly silent. And in Hollywood, silence can be louder than a press conference. When that clip hit, Meghan's Montecito mansion turned into a panic war room overnight. The soft morning rituals, yoga mats, green juices, lavender candles got pushed aside. Assistants were summoned, phones rang off the hook, lawyers were looped in, PR managers jumped on emergency calls. Meghan's voice was calm at first, but insiders said there was one moment, one crack where she snapped, "How did this even get out?" The damage control strategy was textbook Markle. Flood the internet with soft, healing content, cozy photos with Archie, yoga at sunrise, family moments wrapped in linen robes, and warm quotes about peace and healing. But this time, the internet didn't buy it. Every post was dissected, every caption was side-eyed. "You can't meditate your way out of manipulation," one viral comment sneered. Then came the corporate chill. Brands that once lined up to be associated with the Sussex name started backing away, quietly but unmistakably. A luxury skincare company hit pause on its campaign. A boutique wine collab vanished. Even Spotify reportedly reached out, but to Perry's team, not Meghan's. Inside the mansion, whispers filled the hallways. NDAs, missing files, backup drives gone. Meghan's PR advisors begged her to stay off social media, but of course she didn't. She read everything, every comment, every brutal headline. Her serene sanctuary had turned into the beating heart of a storm. Harry, meanwhile, began to unravel. Insiders described a man split between two worlds, between the California image they'd built and the London roots he'd severed. When the Perry rumors grew louder, Harry reached his breaking point. No public statements, no media circus, just a private jet under a fake name, destination, London. Harry's sudden disappearance blindsided Meghan's circle. She never thought he'd actually leave, not in the middle of a scandal this big, but he did, and that move said what no press statement could. Harry was done with the show. Back in the UK, no cameras caught him, but palace whispers hinted at quiet, private meetings. Family, old allies, doors closed, no PR people allowed. The sympathy era was officially over. Media outlets that once sang Meghan and Harry's praises flipped overnight. Morning shows dissected timelines. Panelists raised eyebrows. YouTubers pulled apart Oprah interviews frame by frame. When clip 2 dropped, showing Harry and Meghan workshopping their authentic moments, the illusion shattered completely. What the world once believed was heartfelt and raw now looked produced, choreographed. Even body language experts joined the feeding frenzy. TikTok was flooded with frame-by-frame breakdowns of Meghan's tears, Harry's pauses, the lighting. It wasn't vulnerability anymore. It was a brand launch. Influencers who'd once worshipped Meghan started deleting old posts. PR insiders dubbed it the Sussex effect. Even celebrity friends, the ones who had screamed their support from rooftops, went silent. Oprah, quiet. Serena, distant. The A-list warmth had evaporated. Meghan's legal team went on the attack, sending furious letters to Perry's camp accusing him of twisting context and inflicting emotional harm. They wanted to shut this down fast. But Perry? Oh, Perry isn't some panicked rookie. He's built empires on legal precision. Every clip released had been scrubbed clean by lawyers. No leaks, no accidents. He wasn't lashing out, he was playing chess. He's not emotional, one insider whispered. He's surgical. Meanwhile, something incredible happened. Hollywood began to shift. Studios that once hesitated to work with him started calling again. Networks offered exclusives. Documentarians pitched projects. The man Meghan tried to erase was suddenly the one holding the power. Meghan's team kept swinging, but Perry didn't flinch. It was like punching fog, a source said. He stood there calm, composed, and winning. This wasn't about revenge for Perry. This was redemption. For years, people had treated him like a side character in Meghan's royal drama, but not anymore. He documented everything, and that wasn't paranoia, it was strategy. And as word leaked that he'd been listed in their original contract not just as a friend, but as strategic advisor, the narrative exploded again. He hadn't betrayed her, he'd simply protected himself. By now, Perry wasn't even speaking. He didn't have to. He let the receipts do the talking. The world finally saw it. While Meghan and Harry built their California fairy tale, Perry built a fortress of facts. He didn't rant. He didn't post. He just let the story unfold. And Hollywood, it was eating it up.